Hey, Wellness fam. It's Dr. Latoya Wells with another episode of Wellness Wednesday. I am so grateful to be here with you all for another talk. Tonight, we're going to be talking about something that hits home for me. Um, I know I've been very transparent about the loss of my grandmother. And as I talk to friends and colleagues, and I'm listening to my online friends on Facebook, TikTok, all of the social platforms, I'm seeing a lot of people who are dealing with this. And we just had a holiday, Thanksgiving, and it was very different. It was very different. That's all I can say is it was very different. Tonight, we're going to be talking about holiday blues. But before we jump into that, let me get all of the logistics out. I am Dr. Latoya Wells, Doctor of Nursing Practice, Family Nurse Practitioner, and owner of Wells Legacy Health and Wellness. We are a full service primary care practice located in Altamont Springs, Florida. I am a family nurse practitioner who holds a doctorate degree. So that's where the doctor comes from. I'm not a medical doctor. I am a family nurse practitioner. I wanted to take a moment tonight to just say thank you to each and every one of you who show up, who share the videos, who send encouraging messages, who say, hey, I see you. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. It's so important that we take time to hold space for those who are going through a tough time this holiday season. And as we prepare for another major holiday and going into the new year, I know that there are some individuals who will struggle with the loss of a loved one. We've had people who've lost family, like I know someone who has lost a family member or someone close to them within the past week. And so yes, we experience the joys and all of the things, and it's poignant, right? That the holiday brings about those memories that could be happy and joyous, but then we also feel the sadness of that individual, their presence, the empty seat at the table, right? Or the missing dish that they didn't get a chance to, they are not here to make, or the traditions that we had look different now. And I can remember someone saying to me, well, you just create new traditions. And that's easy to say, but it's not that simple, right? It's not that simple. So I want to say that it's okay to accept grace. And it's also important that we extend grace because we just don't know what people are dealing with. And so what do we describe holiday blues as? Holiday blues is described as a mix of anxiety, sadness, and stress that often comes weeks leading up to the holidays or during the holidays. It's almost like an anticipatory grief, right? I'm sorry, guys, I'm just adjusting my computer. You feel it coming. And I can say, for me personally, I just couldn't put my finger on like what was happening and what I was feeling. And then it hit me, oh, the holiday's here, or this day is coming up, or the anniversary, or what have you. And so I usually put up my decorations for the holidays day after Thanksgiving. And for the past couple of years, if I'm being honest, I really struggled with that. And so if I'm dealing with it, I know many people are dealing with it as well. And yes, I have my faith, I pray, I journal, I do all the things. And it's gotten better over the years, right? It's gotten better. However, it still shows up. And so I want to encourage you, if you're watching or if you know a family member, if you know someone who is dealing with grief, I want you to share this with them tonight. For many, holidays can be triggering, right? And I saw a post recently. We see a bunch of happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, all of these posts going out. But I saw a post that held space for individuals who have social anxiety and just can't be around others. Those who don't have good relationship with family members, and going around those individuals are stressful. The individuals who have suffered a loss around the holiday, those who had to work on the holiday and weren't able to spend time with their family members. And so we also have to hold space for those individuals as well. And again, it's the holiday season can be very triggering, and it can be bring about a renewed awareness of that loss and emphasizing again the coexistence of joy and sorrow. Can the two hold the same space? And they definitely can. And so you guys know I love my statistics. Up to 64% of people report feeling sad or anxious during the holidays. And when I said my Thanksgiving holiday looked different, I did not cook. And I've been cooking a big meal every year since my kids were little. And even if we went to our family's house, which we often did, we would go to my grandma's house, we would go to my husband's grandma, we would go to his aunt's house. Things shifted once the grandmoms passed away. But we would always either host or go somewhere. And even if I went somewhere, I would prepare a dish to bring with me. This year, I just did not. I didn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the mental capacity for it. I didn't have a desire for it. And so my oldest daughter hosted, and she did such an amazing job. I'm so proud of her. She's an awesome cook anyway, just hands down, awesome to cook. But she cooked. When I tell you, it was a spread, and she cooked it all by herself for her family. And we went, and I brought my side dish that was asked of me. And it was the most stressless, stress-free holiday I've had in years. And so it's important that we understand grief and how it works. Grief can manifest in different ways. It can show up as fatigue. It can show up as difficulty concentrating, sleep disturbances. You're not able to fall asleep. If you're falling asleep, you're not able to stay asleep, sleeping too much, not sleeping enough. And also changes in appetite. Individuals either overeat or they don't eat. And so we have to be able to know the symptoms and be able to recognize them, because someone next to you or someone living in the same house as you could be grieving. And because we're around them so much and we see them so often, we may not pick up on those subtle signs or hints of what's going on. And according to the Center of Disease Control Prevention, in 2021, there were significant increases in bereavement due to deaths caused by COVID. And we remember that. COVID-19 in 2021 was a bear. And it increased the numbers and the amount of people and families who were grieving. And so as we think about loss, and I used to work in hospice and never thought I would find my way in hospice, but I did. And it was one of my most favorite jobs, is that I got to help people in some of their most vulnerable states and those family members. And so I kind of felt like I had become numb to death until it hit home, right? And when we talk about the different types of loss, we look at things differently. And one thing I want to say is we can't put a time on grief. You can't put a time limit on grief, on how long someone grieves. Can they get stuck in one stage? Yes. Is that healthy? Probably not. But I'm no psychologist or psychiatric provider, but I've worked in mental health for many years. And it's okay to take your time and not rush, right? But we also don't want to get stuck. We want to be able to move through the different phases of grief to where we can get back to, and I won't say normalcy of life, because life will never be normal anymore once that loss has occurred. But working in hospice really helped me to understand the death and dying process. And I don't know, I just saw death and dying different. I saw it very differently. And then when it hit home, it was hard. It hit hard. There are some statistics that show that over 2.5 million people die in the United States each year, which many families experiencing their first holiday without a loved one. And especially if the death occurs around a holiday, and if that's a very strong family unit, and traditions are now changing and things are shifting, responsibilities are shifting, it can be a lot. So there's different types of loss. Loss can include relational changes, whether it be a divorce or separation, or a loss in a friendship, or listen, friend breakups are real and they hurt, right? And so be grieving the loss of someone. They're not gone from this earth, but they're gone from your life, or the dynamic has changed and it may be strained, or there may be some ghosting that happened, and all the things. And so it creates a profound sense of loneliness. And it's important to understand that loss does not have to include the death of someone. Loss could mean a separation of a relationship, a job, families, things of that nature. So I kind of talked about my experience with grief. And when my grandmother passed, it was hard for me. So much so that I had to take some time off from work to be able to navigate that. And I can remember she passed away in August. And I can remember Thanksgiving coming around and all of the holidays coming around, and her not being here and things looking different. And I found it hard to enjoy. I struggled to enjoy hanging out with my family. And so what did I do? I got busy. I just started doing things. I started hosting the dinners. Thanksgiving, Christmas. I did it because I wanted to honor my grandmother, but yet it wasn't healthy for me. So for the person that's coping with a recent divorce or feeling isolated while others are celebrating with their families, it can be hard for those individuals. So when I say extend grace and receive grace, extend grace. We just never know what people are dealing with. And it's important that we extend grace, and we also find ways to cope, right? Coping mechanisms, ways that help us navigate grief. And when we talk about the holiday blues, it's those feelings of sadness and anxiety and isolation and numbness that occurs around the holidays. I can remember, I believe it was last week, someone posted on social media, tell me in one word how you're feeling. And my response was numb, because that's what I was feeling in that moment. I was really missing my grandmother. And here we are coming up on Thanksgiving and another year without her. So coping mechanism. As you know, I love to journal, and journaling is one of my outlets. But what I've started doing lately is every morning I go for a walk. And that's my prayer. I call it my prayer walk, because I may or may not be listening to music. I may or may not be listening to different, messages and things of that nature, but I'm praying and I'm just spending that time talking to God, and that helps me, right? And so I found myself leading up to the holiday not doing that, not having the energy to do anything, or not wanting to do much, and not able to focus on things. And so I had to just really sit with it for a moment and wrap my head around what was happening. Artistic expression. Some people who are very artistic tend to do projects, DIY projects and artwork. And I can tell you that when I am struggling and when I'm stressing, creativity is my outlet. It's just one of the ways that I deal with that. And so many people who may not be able to verbally express what they're feeling, they put it into their art or their creative side. And then encourage seeking a trusted family and friend. Like, I encourage that you reach out to someone that you can talk to, so that you're not sitting in this by yourself. There's so many people. And here's the thing, we're so good at hiding. We're so good at putting the mask on. We need to take the mask off and allow others to see our true and authentic selves. Another thing, and I know I said this earlier, but create new traditions. Think the holidays may not look different, may not look the same with so and so, I'll say grandma not being here. But what can we do? One of the things I did, I believe it was last year before, I hosted our family pajama jam. We had a pajama party and I hosted it, and we all came together. And for Thanksgiving, I did one for my husband's family. And then I think we did one for our family, or like a couple days apart. But we had so much fun. And it's something that I want to do again this year. And that's a tradition that we did. So we're honoring the memories of those individuals that are no longer with us, sharing stories, making our favorite dishes, the recipes and things of that nature. And that's one of the things that I say, I didn't take time. I didn't take advantage of my grandmother when she was cooking in the kitchen. Like I remember one time she was cooking some chitlins and we had to clean them, and I was crying, and my cousin was like, just go, because you're going to get us in trouble. We're going to get a whooping. But just remembering those things is definitely helpful. One of the examples that, or one thing that you can do, is set up a memory tree. Hang decorations if you are into decorations. If you're into the holidays, some people may not be, and that's okay. And they still deal with loss. So managing expectation. It's important to set realistic expectations for yourself. For me, I can set these huge expectations and place all this pressure on myself, and no one's called for it. So set realistic expectations. Know when your social battery is running low and you need to just kind of steal away and get in that quiet place, or just kind of sit in stillness. That's okay. It's important that you prioritize your thoughts, your feelings, and like how you're feeling, right? Your mental space. Because if you're not in the mental space to be around a lot of people, one, you're already grieving. Anxiety is going to increase. It's just not going to be good. So monitor your social battery. A survey of the American Psychological Association says that 43% of adults feel pressured to create the perfect holiday experience. And I can definitely say that. I could be type A, meaning I want everything, I'm color coordinating everything together, all the things in place, and every nook and cranny taken care of. And I put so much pressure on myself to do that. And so over the years, I've learned not to. And this year, it started with me not even cooking, to not put that pressure on myself to cook. We don't have little kids in the house anymore. I don't have to cook a full meal unless I just want to, but it doesn't have to be something that I do every single year. And then staying connected. Many times we want to isolate ourselves, and that's not good. So staying connected, reach out to those friends, those family members, those colleagues, neighbors that you know who may have suffered a loss. I recently had a neighbor who her house caught on fire. I was out there trying to play Fire Toya, but that's a loss. The house isn't a complete and total loss, but her home is uninhabitable right now. And so that's a loss. So checking in on her, and it happened right before the holidays. So checking in with them, FaceTime, Zooms, virtual connection. If you have family and friends who live away from you, who are not in the same area as you, we have such amazing technology that allows us to still stay connected. So reach out via social media, or, Zoom, Facebook, whatever, FaceTime, whatever method you have to reach out, so that you can see their face, they can see your face, and you can connect in that way. And then check-in calls, like scheduling those check-in calls, doing drive-by visits. I told a friend the other day, listen, I will do a drive-by. I am notorious for drive-bys. And so I told her, I said, I show up at your house. And she was like, I know. So we had a conversation. I was able to talk to her and just kind of help her to navigate some of those things. But it's important to have those people in your corner, ones that will show up, ones who, regardless of what's happening, will show up. And many times asking, what do you need, is not the best question, because a lot of times they can't even tell you what they need. So being able to anticipate those needs being able to figure out how you can insert yourself to kind of help them or do and be there, do that. As we close tonight, I just want to leave you with this, that as we enter into the final weeks of this year, 2025, and I don't know about you, but 2025 has been 2025, right? It's been a year, but I'm so grateful that I'm sitting here recording. You guys are watching me live. It's so I'm grateful that I get to be here, because if we think about the people who, I had a friend, same age as me. She passed away, had a heart attack, same age. I've known her since I was 15 years old. And life is so precious. And we have to take those moments of gratitude to think about the things that we're grateful for and the things that we're thankful for, even when it's hard, even when we're dealing with grief, even when we've suffered a loss. I'm grateful that I had 40-something years with my grandmother. I'm grateful that I had good memories with her, that I can pull from those memories. Do I miss her physical touch? Yes. Do I miss hearing her audibly call my name? Yes. Do I miss her rubbing? Yes, I miss all of those things. But in the grand scheme of things, I miss her so much. Yet I am so grateful for the time that I did have with her. So tonight, if you're someone that's grieving or you're dealing with holiday blues, reach out to us. If you just need someone to talk to, reach out to us. I want you to know that the holiday season can be a blend of happiness and grief. The two can exist in one space. And I want to acknowledge that it is perfectly acceptable to feel a range of emotions. I want you to think about openly communicating your feelings with your family and your friends, letting others know so that they can help to foster a supportive environment for you. I invite you to share your own tips, call to action tonight. I invite you to share your own tips and experiences in the comments, helping us to create a community of support. What we do here at Wells Legacy Health and Wellness is we are here to help you create a legacy of good health. This is a part of it. Our mental health, our well-being is a part of it. This is Dr. Latoya Wells. I didn't mean to come on with such a heavy topic tonight, but it's something that's needed. And I guarantee you there's someone dealing with some of the same things. Share this live, share this information, invite your friends, join the page to follow me on all the social media platforms. Until next time, stay safe and be well. This is Dr. Latoya Wells. Have a good night. Bye.